there, I'm Jenny. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. We're going to be using the same sketch as we used last week, but we're going to be making a very different layout. So I cut my paper down already last week. I don't know whether you watched it. If you didn't, it's probably worth watching, at least to see why I swapped over the two different stripy papers. So you've got a mixture of this year's paper and last year's paper. And I've cut down the mat from the base so that I've got a much lighter frame. I'm just seeing if I can hide some of these animals that are the wrong way up. It's one of the slight difficulties with a paper that can be put any way up. It's great because you can cut it so that you can serve paper much better, but on the other hand, my animals are now, some of them facing not the right way. I wonder if this other piece is going to have more that are facing the right way. Let's try it. I'm quite happy with the right hand page. It's just this left hand one. Oh yes, now we've got 3 at the bottom that are the right way. Okay, we're going to make One Fine Day stamped, and then we're going to have a couple of embellishment clusters on the right hand page. So one under here, across onto the green and gold paper, and one coming round the end, round the corner at the top. I cut my pieces out already. You may remember that I used some that were the same shapes last week. They're cut from the Timeless Arrangements die set. I'm going to use them to cover up some of these animals that are facing the wrong way. So this fox has got his snout stuck underneath the mat, and the deer is upside down, and this green leaves cover both of them up. So let's see what other ones we can put there. I'm going to want some bigger leaves on this side, the left, so that I can make it look as though the leaves are falling. This paper, I think it's the light side of the pecan pie, really emphasises the gold stripes, and although it does get a little bit lost on the animals, the animal paper, and possibly even a little bit lost on the green and gold, so I'm actually going to put a cream leaf behind it where it's going to be on the green and gold paper. But I'm just going to pick out some other pieces as well. One of the really good things about the two-tone cardstock is that it gives you extra colours to work with, and those colours go really well together. So the two sides of the pecan pie work really well. And the early espresso, again, brings out some of the colours of the animals, and also the colour of the little trees, the triangular trees at the sides, brings that across into the main part of the page. At the top, I'm going to use some early espresso leaves, and I'm going to use them to block out the animals' faces as well as to make the cream colour of the leaves much more visible. I'm not sure at this point whether I'm going to use early espresso over the top, or whether I'm going to use it underneath. So picking out some little pieces to make sure that I'm using all the different types, all the different shapes, and all the different colours in all the different clusters. Ease the view through my glasses there. Yes, I'm going to use one behind each side of the cream, and then use another piece in front further across. This particular die set also has a stamp set that I picked up along with it. So these leaves on the left-hand page are actually die cuts that go around a stamped image of a small branch of leaves, small cluster of leaves. But they also work very well as a standalone leaf. I'm going to move all of these pieces up, and I'm not going to stick everything down with you, but I am going to just show you what I mean about sticking these two pieces down to cover up the animals. I left about 1/2 inch at the edge that wasn't stuck down, so I can stick my pieces underneath the mat. Last week I stuck them on top of the mat to go underneath the photos, but with this particular layout I wanted them underneath the mat. So there's one covering up the deer, and now if you look at the deer when my hand moves, it looks rather like a stump of a tree with some branches coming out from it. So one of the fun things about using liquid glue is that then you can move the pieces around just a little bit once you've got the glue on. It looks like I'm pressing down quite hard, but I'm not. I think I was just spreading the glue out behind it. And I know where I want to have this cream piece, so I can move the early espresso piece across, dark brown, and then this lovely cream leaves will pop against the dark brown, and it'll further break up the deer or tree stump, as it is now, and the fox. And here is the finished result. And look at the foiling as I move it around as well. I do like those animals. And I'm going to have 4 3x4 photos on the right hand page, and on the left hand page I'm going to have 1 4x6 photograph, but I'm going to switch round which way round the photo and the journaling spot and title are from last week. So I've got my lead laid out, and I'm just picking up my journaling spot from the sticker sheet. Because it's a sticker, I can add some of my leaf elements behind it. I'm not going to use as many on this cluster as I've used on the other ones, just simply because I've got extra leaves that are spread out and falling down on that side. So I'm going to use some of these leaves to cover up, again, the animals in the background that are not the right way up. So I'm going to have this green one over the bear, and it will look rather like a log when I finished, I think. I'll put this Cajun Craze one over the deer, and again I'm going to end up with a tree stump. I'm just thinking at this point, what else do I want to add? I'm going to add another little leaf at the top, I think, in a moment. But I'm also thinking about whether I can use any of the stickers of the animals, because there's a little bird on this journaling spot, and I just wondered whether I could put in another little animal somewhere else. So I've stamped my title. I used early espresso ink, if anybody's interested, just pulling the same colour across. You may have noticed that I'm saying the same name for a colour for all the different places in my layout. I'm just going to stick my mat down, because in my postbound album it looks, when I open up my pages, as though it's one continuous 12 by 24 page. I want my mat to look as though it goes straight across as well. So you don't need a huge amount of glue, but you do need enough to make it stick for long enough for you to add your photos and put it into your album. So I'm going to line it up very carefully. You can see I've lined up my pages very carefully. And I lined up my green and gold stripes so that that went straight across, and now the map goes straight across as well. I'm using a bling pack that's 4 inches wide to be a substitute photograph for now. And I've got a little picked up a little bunny sticker from the sticker sheet. As on this particular day, as well as it being a fine day, there were, in the middle of autumn, there were quite a lot of little rabbits and squirrels and things out and about, because it was a nice warm day. So I guess that they were also enjoying the sunshine. I'm going to stick these leaves down as well. And this is why it's important for me to have something that's a substitute photo if I haven't got my photos on photo mats. So that I can make sure that I'm not going to cover up the space where my photos are going to go. Just lining it up very carefully, make sure that it's in the right place and all the right things are covered up. And now I'm just going to stick down the other leaves. I picked up the One Fine Day stamps. I actually only picked them up when they were on last chance. I'd had my eye on them for quite a while, and I'm really glad that I went for them when I did, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get hold of them. And they do make such good titles for scrapbook layouts. There's another set out now, which is Happy, and then it has a whole lot of different second words, like retirement, for example. I haven't got very many retirement stamps. And Happy Days, Happy Place, Happy Life. And again, I think that that is going to make some really good scrapbook layout titles. I'm attaching these leaves so that they come over the sides of the mat, because I want to make it look as though all the leaves are cascading down. Add a little bit of glue behind the embellishments on the journaling, because although the embellishments are stuck to the journaling sticker, they didn't have glue on the back, so they haven't stuck to the page. Well, now they have. So let's take my substitute photo out and show you what it all looks like. And again, watch out for that foiling. It's very pretty. So 4 little photos, 1 bigger photo, and here we go. Leaves cascading down over One Fine Day, and the little bunny rabbit. See, like that little hedgehog and little owl. A fox, and another hedgehog down there as well. That's it for today. You've enjoyed it. Thank you for spending some of your crafting time with me during some of my crafting time. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.